That's right, everybody. Damn, what you do to the board here, man? Everybody, welcome back. Welcome to Parallels, because the truth isn't always as clear with your host, Agente Chavez, on this special edition, on this welcome back, on this return, you could say. It's been a fun hiatus, and I'm glad to be joined by Miss Amazing. Trying to jump it. Damn, I'm being taken over on my show. How do you
Miss
say
Mallory
that?
Jackson.
Damn, Miss MJ's taking over. I was going to say, damn, an incredible intern that has turned out to be an amazing person that has continued to come through LA Talk Live time and time after time, just like my main boy over here, Dane's World. But
how you doing?
Oh man, thanks for joining me, guys. I know
Yes.
it's a little bit off of how I normally start my show. I know you went through a couple of old ones and
Yeah.
some familiarities, some differences and all. But anyways, everybody, welcome back on this 5/11/13 or November 5th, 2013. Dane's like, what, the cheeseburger? What? I'm in the future?
We're in the future.
Man.
Back to the future, baby. Back to the future. No, you know what? Welcome everybody to Parallels. I know it's a little bit different than the programming that's been going on because I've been gone for such a long time that it's fun to be back. I know I'm not on camera, but I was doing this before we did cameras, so I'm not a camera person. People say, hey,
It's okay.
don't
It's
blame
okay.
me. You know, you see my boy Dane's World over here. Dane, tell us a little bit about your show. While we're here in the introduction of Parallels, I'm introducing myself.
There we go. Dane's World, every Saturday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. If it's 8, you're late. We be cool. We live free. We discuss various topics with hip-hop artists and other urban community things. A lot of artistic ideas. My man DJ Jabba, he's always there as well. All aspects of apparel. Shout out to them. They're the new sponsor of the show. We're just trying to do good things, patiently grind, and mess up the airways.
That's the way to do it, man. That's the way to do it. Well, thanks, man, for coming and stopping by. Now I'm going to swing to you, young lady.
Okay.
Muchas
hello.
gracias. Thank you for coming, Miss
Of course. Mallory Jackson.
MJ.
Miss
MJP. Miss MJP. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, well, I'm Mallory Jackson. I'm a recent graduate. I have my degree as a television radio producer. I'm also an activist. I'm a animal activist as well as a human rights activist.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Vegan of 9 years, kind of a health freak. 'Cause
Awesome.
I've learned too much about it, so.
Part of the parallels of this world, we're all living different lifestyles, eating different lifestyles, different ways, and certain things we shouldn't be eating, and some people do. But before we continue, I'm going to plug in a show, and I'm going to give a little condolences, but on this week. But before, since you're doing radio,
Yeah.
you should pick up a book by a author named Gino Albacior.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the book right now, but I'll have it by the end of the show.
Okay.
Gino Albacior, he put this book together detailing the story of how radio transformed into television back in the from the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, and the pioneers. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking Captain America because I saw the shield in the green room. Pero it's a whole different thing. Pero, I'll recommend you picking it up at some time and going through it and lancing through it. But anyways, going back to the show, thank you once again for coming through. And
Of course.
I know you brought some wonderful guests.
Yes.
We'll get to that right now. But before we continue talking about the book beat, I just want to give out condolences to Miss Susan Levin. Miss Susan Levin, she has passed. She was a broadcaster here. She had a show called Talk Up Your Biz, Mondays at 5 p.m. Yeah, Susan Levin passed, man. She passed on Saturday. Yeah, on Saturday of all days. But, don't know exactly what was wrong with her, but, she is in a better place. She might have been suffering a lot at this moment in her life, and she went through a thing. I just took it as a perception where maybe she was just sick and just couldn't do the show. Like, I can't go to the studio. Yeah, I got something broken. I didn't get personal into it.
Yeah.
But
Dang, condolences.
my
Yeah,
condolences.
definitely.
She actually made a big impact. She came in here and she shared her story, her voyage. That she was going through, and how in her business it was speaker services, showing people how to be a speaker. Who better else to teach somebody about doing something than yourself?
Yeah.
And if people are listening to you, become a speaker. So, you know, she would get the best of the best and send them out to different events. You know, Boeing's, Raytheon's, McDonald's, name it. You know, she was sending these people that were honing in on their thing. So she brought in very intelligent dialogue, intelligent people into here. And, you know, a lot of self-actualization, you know, and Abraham Maslow stuff going on here. You know, this is part of what Parallels is.
Right.
You know, it's seeing the differences, you know, seeing between the lines or seeing that other frequency, seeing that you deal with mobile devices.
Yeah.
Everybody nowadays deals with mobile devices. People are listening through their Droids, their iPhones, name it, XYZ, new media, transmedia, whichever way you want to see it.
Spectrum.
It's a big spectrum now. You know, just the way people are able to, radio, tune in, Radio Flag, Ustream, our side, YouTube, name it, XYZ, blogs, and all this other, everywhere. It's a global sphere. It's a new era. It's a new parallel, just like The Matrix, like the movie. But anyways, we won't get into that at this moment. But we do. We are.
Yeah.
Because we're living in this parallel. This is what we know, what we believe, what we think we believe, what we think is real, what we don't think is real. It's mobile device. Everybody has a cell phone pretty much. There's about, quote me if I'm wrong, but there's about to be 7 billion cell phones worldwide within the next year or two.
Active?
Manufactured, created, out, distributed.
Yeah.
Wow.
In 2 to 3 years, it's expected to double to about 15 billion devices.
It's not good.
So that's all that has existed, plus the new ones that are being created with the new this and the new that and this and that.
We're going to be living in a microwave, basically.
Think about it. What is the effect that that's having on us? What is the effect it's going to have on us? I heard theories. I remember the parallels hearing when I was a kid, hearing the tales of truck drivers saying that they would keep their phones in between their legs and that they were developing testicular cancer.
Yes.
I remember hearing that as a little kid because they were switching from CB radio to, I got my cell phone, boo boo, oh, damn, motherfucking baller, you know? But,
like before I go to bed, I always like turn my phone off and put it on the other side of the bedroom because I used to sleep with it under my pillow. And that's not a good idea.
Dangerous.
Seriously,
Dangerous.
People, you need to be careful because you can get cancer this way.
those are some tips you could just pass on to people, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Simple tips.
I sleep with my phone next to me.
We all do. A lot
Everybody
of us do.
does.
Yeah.
That's my woman right there.
I mean, everybody does. Everybody pretty much sleeps at about an arm's reach away from their mobile device.
You got to throw it across the room.
Literally, you have to like leave it charging up in the kitchen or have one central hub where you charge it. Now, here's a parallel for you, young man, since you're into mobile devices and you love it. Look into an old 100-year-old plus technology. You should check this out too, and you probably know about this. That's why I put it in. Nikola Tesla. He was a creator of and perfected wireless electricity. You grab a light bulb, walk somewhere, put it down in the ground, and it'll light up. It was in the air. You didn't have to pay for electricity. It was for free,
Yeah.
like it is now. Now they have it on certain iPhones, certain cameras, where you just put it on the little docket, and they'll transfer your pictures, and they'll charge it. Now imagine a world where you can put a laptop anywhere. You can put a plasma television anywhere and not even have to worry about plugging it in.
Yeah.
No cables. You just boop.
We're almost there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's almost there. We're almost there. But anyways, whew. That's been a big run around. There's been so much activity going on in here today that it's been amazing. The guests that have been in here through Here's to Your Health. So for people that are tuning in, people that are still tuning in, because people will tune in and they just stay tuned in. They love it.
Good.
But thank you all for your support. I know Big Dane over here has a big following over here. So, hey, man, big shout out to all you're doing, man. All your support, all the people
Thank
that support. You even got sponsors. Think about that.
Oh, good job.
Come on.
Thank you.
I mean, think about it. If somebody does
No,
something with
seriously.
you and if they see that, they'll just part ways. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyways,
That's true.
just big shout outs to you. But Mal,
Thank you.
how you been?
I've been great. More than great.
More than great.
I've been great. Yeah.
No, awesome. No, but have you ever had a chance to listen to Dane's World?
Don't hate me, but no.
Have you jumped into his parallel?
No, not yet. I need to. I've spoke to Dane a ton.
Yeah, we have many conversations.
Yeah, so
That's cool.
it's better than Dane's World because I actually know Dane
Oh,
outside of
there
his
it is.
world. So that's deeper than Dane's
damn.
world.
She's not lying. She's not
Yeah.
lying.
That's intense. I'm just kidding.
You know, the other day we had a guest on here, Dr. Eric Pierce. He was here on Here's to Your Health with Josh Lane, and he was talking about healing, like healing with touch.
Oh, yeah.
Or well, not even touch, just by focusing energy on people. You know, people have been cured from cancers and all these different techniques, all these different things, right? And one of the first key principles that he teaches, and this is why I love parallels, because you can talk about anything you want, but it has to be crazy like that. You can't talk about regular stuff.
Yeah. No one likes that.
Yeah, but
Got the chills.
man,
Got the chills.
you know how people say, "Oh, you can see your aura if you take
Yeah.
certain pictures, different colors." It's because there's certain energies within you. You've heard about that. You're very aware of that.
Yeah.
Course.
Mr. Ross, you know.
I invented this. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But one of the things that he was talking about was about unlearning what we have learned. Like, oh, you believe that putting vinegar on to ward off bad energies, or that by rubbing this stone, or by doing this, or by having this feather, or this horseshoe, or this lucky whatever, or if I do this ritual, or if I do this, I'll be able to attain this or do this. You feel like a sacrifice type of deal.
Yeah.
And even like into the practices of like what do you call it, like Taoism and Buddhism, like all that. He was like talking about different things. Like
Yeah.
we have to unlearn what we have learned to be able to achieve what we want,
Okay.
because we're living in a world of limitations. It's like the thing of time as we know it has only existed for like the past 60 years.
Right.
If you really think about it.
Right.
Before then, time wasn't really of an essence.
Yeah.
Because everybody believed that as long as things were 3D, as you could see it, it had depth, it was reality.
Yeah.
And it took us a while to realize, it took Einstein to come up with this giant equation and keep writing to say, well, there's another dimension, it's called time. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, because it's there. Oh, and then it sparked off a whole different revolution, which has now led to quantum mechanics, which is defying Einstein and doing what he said we couldn't do.
Right.
But having great technology now, nanotechnology,
Yeah.
and beyond.
Right.
But one of the things about going back to the auras and energies that Dr. Pierce was talking about was that our DNA is the one that is actually emitting the light.
Interesting.
That's where it's coming from. It's us. We are the essence. We are the energy. We are the connection. It just depends on how we focus ourselves. You could be the best at being the worst person in the world. And many people are fighting for it throughout the world right now.
Yeah.
For that same position. I want to be worse than you. I want to be
Seriously.
better than you. I mean, and the easiest and closest, you don't even have to go to Iraq or Afghanistan to go see that disgustingness that's going out there. Just go to the border.
Yeah.
Drive 150, 200 miles, go to the border. It's happening there every single day. People are being decapitated. People are being cut up.
Wow.
Why? Because I'm better than you. My gang is better than you. It ain't no local
Yeah.
shooting in the hood.
Are you familiar with I believe his name, Professor Alan Watts?
I've heard of Dr. Ellen Watts, yes.
Yes, one of I think I'm gonna quote him real quick. He said,
for it.
"Being at your most highest consciousness is the most abundant form of ignorance." I believe that's what he said. That's how he put it.
One more time.
Being at your highest form of consciousness is being at your most abundant form of ignorance, because based off society's standards, or just because just the level where you live at or where you're placed at in your life. You being conscious of your surroundings, it makes you ignorant to the rules that you have to abide by that keep you alive or keep you circulating throughout life. Like there's a stream or river, we're all fish. We all got to go in the same direction like catfish. So once you become conscious, you kind of stop swimming.
That's true.
You kind of, where am I going? So you wake up and being conscious to where you're going or where you want to walk, he actually says that's making you ignorant to where you need to go in the form you need to take on in the actual bigger picture of the stream of fish that you're actually swimming with.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, we all follow the herd, or we all are all in with all the fish. We're all swimming with the fish. Why? Because we think that what is good for them is good for me.
Yeah.
Because we think, oh, that's what they need. That's what I need. So I need to get there first. I need to be ahead of the herd. I need to be right in the front.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be there. But like you mentioned, when you become self-conscious, you stop. Well, you may stop for a while. So then the pack is swimming away from me, but you're swimming around, and you're like, wait, what am I hunting for? What? Okay, I know where that is and where I could get it from. And maybe if I go this way, if I dive a little bit down here, or if I dive up a little bit higher, there's better food up here.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily have to eat what you're eating.
Yeah.
Go this way over here, or maybe go that way. Maybe a few people may venture like, oh, where's he going? Hold on. They'll get curious. Some fish may get curious, like, okay, and they'll go in the wrong direction because they're trying to follow, but they don't understand. They're not conscious of what they should be looking for.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we have,
That's
like what people say, oh, these little angels, like in the cartoons and in the commercials.
The good and bad.
The good and the bad. Everybody. We all have demons with us, within us, around us, everywhere. They're all around us, within us, with people.
Yeah.
It's just, who are you listening to?
That's true.
Right.
Because you have two selves. We're all like a Gemini.
I'm a Gemini, and I have the good and bad. So it's
and I wasn't
really-
even aiming at you. I was just saying.
You're aiming at me.
Well, in essence, like if you believe in astrotheology or those type of things, but I was gonna say like a Gemini or holding a Libra. Why? Because you're balancing it. There's two sides. There's always a good and a bad,
Yeah.
and it always follows us. And it depends what path that we take. It's all, and it also is incumbent in our DNA. Why? Because if you're evil, if you're doing evilness, it's gonna pass off in your DNA. That's how powerful we are.
Yeah.
We just don't understand it.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? You make a child not caring whatever, that child's gonna live the same pathway, same life.
Yeah.
You have a child of love, boom, you show them some love, something happens, well, that's different. But you've already encompassed it. It's us.
Yes.
You know, and unfortunately, there's this misconception that people believe that we are God, and we don't have to abide by any laws and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
but then there's a lot of technicalities that we won't get into this show today.
Yeah, I was about to touch upon that.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I
That I
mean,
will touch on. Go ahead.
well, I mean, on the aspects of today, like I was actually listening to a lot of people's opinions on, the 5% telling themselves, okay, we're gods, we're all gods. Even if you don't see yourself as a god, you're a god. It was an artist, somebody that quoted the Bible verse, we have dominion over the sea because of, what we can do. Now, I'm not saying everybody in life and everybody in the world is a god or we're above God or we're equal, but a man today actually on the Sabir Bay show, his name was Gano Gills.
Oh, that's why I wanted you to stick around. Go ahead, man. I didn't listen to the whole
Gano
get into it, man.
Gills. He actually said he's like after you reach a certain, and he practices like religions and a lot of prayers, and he said once you reach a certain form, a certain height of consciousness, you can become a god with a little g, not capital, but
Yeah.
you can become your God, your potential being on earth. He also touched upon a point of where people graduated from this earth, and that kind of, made my head go.
I need to graduate from this earth one day.
You and me both.
We all will.
You and me
need to.
both.
We all will. But how was he explaining that? Because I personally didn't get a chance to listen to that.
Well, he didn't really explain it. He kind of just gave an example because he actually prays in his backyard. He said one day he noticed his trees going towards his house. He said you can't really change the direction of a tree. It grows in the way it's going to grow from the time it starts sprouting as a
Follows
seed.
the sun, yeah.
Right. So he said it started growing at a 45-degree angle towards his house. And he said that happened all of a sudden. Now, with the sun beaming towards his house, passing the tree, he said there was a rainbow. And I guess in the practices that he's learned, he said that was an abundant amount of energy he gained from the elementals that he prayed to. So he said that being so abundant and him sleeping in his home, his energy dwelled within his home. So the trees followed that natural energy towards there. So it was that powerful.
And you know what? That's with anything and anybody. Because Dr. Levi Harrison, he has a show here every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Plug for you, Doc. One of the things I believe he's Buddhist. I mean, he's talked about it in the past. And but one of the things that he talks about, and which is a beautiful thing, and this can happen to anybody. It's about your faith and how strong within your faith you are. You feel what I'm saying? But a lot of us, like I was talking about, the little energies. We follow the path of least resistance for a majority of the time. I could speak on it on myself, on my own experiment. You feel what I'm saying? People follow the path of less resistance. Why? It's just like water. I was talking to Michael Reindio with Pikachu Coffee, Las Cruces, New Mexico. Big shout out to you. Pikachu, like the dog Pikachu. But with
it's a Pikachu coffee.
Pikachu.
If it makes
coffee.
you feel like Pikachu, you should drink it because Pikachu's
really
really
does.
happy.
I believe there's some in the green room, so
Oh, wonderful.
we'll take
I
a
had
quick
some.
little
It's
music
pretty
break. In a few minutes, we'll go have a little break. Courtesy of Pikachu Coffee, Las Cruces, New Mexico, handcrafted specialty grade Arabica coffee. Michael Rendu, hit them up. PikachuCoffee.com, PikachuCoffee.com. Check it out at Pikachu Coffee, Las Cruces, New Mexico. But anyways, that was some good coffee. You could tell. But one of the things that he was talking about was he was tripping me out on the pyramids. I can't really speak on this, but he started talking about the pyramids, how underneath they have found out that there was rivers that used to cross underneath. One would flow this way, north, and one would flow south. Or east or west. So I don't know. I got to look into it. But they will flow opposite of each other.
Wow.
Right? And he said that, I think it was Nikola Tesla, he said. So I got to really look this up. He said, I believe it was Nikola Tesla. He took what is now considered the Baghdad battery, which is made out of clay, vinegar, I believe, inside. If I'm wrong on that one.
Yeah.
They seal it off with asphalt, put a copper rod in it.
Right. We've seen it.
The Baghdad battery, yeah. Allegedly, Nikola Tesla took this to the pyramid. One similar to that. He created it. He took it in there, and he tested it, and it tested electricity, and that he made it spark. Like they tested with some water flowing through it, and it made it spark. How true this is, I got to look into it. But it sparked my interest. He's like, but you don't need the pyramids. He's like, you could do that anywhere.
Yeah.
Grab one water, create a current going this way, another going that way, and then you have electricity.
It's so simple.
Wow.
It's water.
Yeah.
Wow.
So much of what we have learned, they make it so complex to the point where that you think things are only done a certain way, when in reality, it's much simpler than we know. And, that the truth is within us the whole time. It's just like mind-boggling, It's crazy,
Are you guys familiar with Imhotep?
I'm not. Are you?
Imhotep, the mummy?
Imhotep.
Yeah, he was like the original medicine doctor of Egypt,
Okay.
like the most praised and everything. It was said, like, I was reading in a book, they stole our legacy. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
And it talked about how...
Rightly put, but go ahead.
Right, it was talking about how Imhotep, how he discovered lots of medicines for, like, the human body, a lot of tinctures, remedies that cure almost anything, from gangrene to just a simple cough or an eye twitch or something.
Yeah.
The Hippocratic Oath.
Yeah.
Right. And Imhotep figured all this stuff out, and he never really wrote most of the stuff down. His practices were, not only were they scientific, medical, they were also spiritual as well.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to take credit for it. Like, people jot this down in history because they want their people to feel proud.
Yeah.
Imhotep, he actually did not. And that's when they say the Greek mythology or the Greek people, or the next people, or what was his name? Rome.
Constantine?
Wait, Alexander the Great.
Alexander the Great. Okay.
After they came to Egypt, that's when the Greek mythology came about. And now if you pay attention real close, you go back to most of the mythologies that you hear about. There's no base.
Yeah.
There's no beginning.
Yeah.
It just starts from the gods on down. There's no beginning.
Yeah.
The gods were created, and
The gods were created.
the gods just created
and then
us.
There's no base.
Wow.
Once you read the book, it kind of explains more about it. But it touched just upon about what you were talking about with the pyramids and the different directions of the water.
Yeah, I mean, that I got to look into that, especially when he mentioned Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, how come I didn't know about this one?
Right,
You feel me? But there's just so many great innovations. It's like now, I mean, you're stuck in traffic all day. You're stuck in traffic all day. You're stuck in traffic all day. People listening on their mobile devices, are listening. You feel what I'm saying? People are stuck in traffic no matter where you go,
Yeah.
especially around Los Angeles. But throughout the country. I mean, we're getting to a point where, like what Michael Murphy mentioned in one of his movies called Collapse, you know, we're reaching, like people are talking about peak oil, where we're reaching a certain peak where we're going to create the most of whatever we could create at this point in time with 7 billion people on the planet. In the next 10, 15 years, the population is going to be like at 20 billion, give or take 15, 16, 17, 20 billion, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
Really? We won't be able to accommodate one vehicle per house. You know, create a whole new car, new tires, new houses, new timber, new lumber. At the rate that we're destroying the world, we'll need like 7, 10, 12, 15 Earths to be able to supply us all the meats. All the meats alone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of useless construction going on, though, too. Like, if you really drive, I drove from Pomona back and down here. I was like, you realize how long that freeway is, and they just blew it up. They know how many houses that would be?
Well, it's been a big project. It's a big project. But see,
that's a lot of room, though.
The thing is, we have become a car-dependent society, especially out here in the West. Back east, you could just catch the train. You could go catch a sub. You could go catch this. You could catch that. No problem. I mean, we deal with tourists all the time here.
You're right.
And tourists come in and they're like, what? I got to wait for the bus. How long? 20, 30 minutes. What? Are you kidding me? Oh, and whoop-de-whoop, it's like 5 minutes. Whoop-de-whoop, 7 minutes. Whoop-de-whoop is no more than X, Y, Z number of minutes. Why? Because they understand people got to get mobile. You got to get your workforce moving. That's not what we do here. Why do you think gas is so cheap right now? It's like 360? Right?
350.
Damn.
Unleaded is 350 now.
Oh, okay. Premium is what, like 380, 370?
Yeah, just about. Almost back to $4. We'll be there in a month or two. Don't worry.
But see, now we got to switch over to a break right now and start welcoming our guest. And we're being led into to think, like, for example, that other funds are funding our roads when it's all being funded by the gasoline tax, right? That's why taxes are going up, and it's going to go up a few cents in a few days, I believe, in a few weeks. But 100 years ago, the city of Los Angeles was fully dependent on electric cars, fully dependent on electric trains, up and down Watts, downtown Los Angeles. I mean, there were so many cities that they had public trains made out of electricity, trains, taxis, everything was electric. But here comes Tesla. Imagine free electricity to all these vehicles. You're driving and you never have to charge your electric car ever again. Because as you're passing through the post, you're picking up wireless electricity from the sky because it's abundant. Think about all the electricity that comes down in a lightning bolt. How much energy comes from one of those? It can kill you. And some. And more. We can't capture it. But if we could tap into the same source, infinite energy for the world.
Yeah.
Infinite. I mean, just wrap your mind around it. But, of course, unfortunately, some car people won't hit us up because they'll say, oh, you guys want free electricity. Maybe Tesla.
Maybe.
We got to talk to Tesla.
Maybe.
But you know what? Let's take a quick little break. Let's take a little quantum leap here with the Akashic Ancestors. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Peace.
I got stress on my chest, I need to let it off my mind. Breathe in the problems, exhale the rhymes. Blow them on the mic, deaf in the blind. You can't see or hear, cousin, in the depths of my mind. It's pitch black silent, death is the guide. Swinging oars, all aboard, prepared for the ride. I hope you brought your coins, if not, step to the side. If you didn't accumulate stacks, I'm afraid you're ill-prepared. Wake up from your coma, go out, get your share. Leave a ripple, make a mark, let them know that you was there. A transcendental attitude's a weapon of air. To the throne now, that's no less than a chair. I'll be back, remember that, memories are clear. In the next life, as long as the effort's revered, not blurred by emotion or separatist here. Free from the methods of terror and the shepherds of fear. Today, tomorrow, where you gonna be? Sand in the hourglass, a peasant to king. What role you wanna play? There's many levels of being. Space and time continuum, dimensions unseen. Quantum leap past the present, the future's been leaked. Welcome to the now when our views are just dreams. Projected holograms holographically illusions of grief. Channel to the tune to turn you into sheep. Eyes open, 2090 solstice, cries flashing through the sky's omens. My psyche's roaming, eyes scrolling the horizons to find soldiers, but no one's home in my focus. Scouring the earth's surface, all I find is roaches. Scurrying through abandoned churches, climbing on bones, it's all hopeless. Oh shit, maybe I missed the bigger picture. I switch off my mental fixture and activate my spirit's vision to picture a much different dimension of existence. Sentient entities no longer physically bound to the ground by gravity, space, and time limitations. 1260 ship in the station, we've drifted away from 13 articulations. Acclimated to a hologram of love. Merkaba of thoughts caught the falling dove and tugged omniconscious. A transcendental shove in the right direction. Now human life is a higher reflection of sacred science and essence projected through the dissipating ether shield. Trifocal eyes, undisguised, I see the real. Today, tomorrow, where you gonna be? Sand in the hourglass, a peasant to king. What role you wanna play? There's many levels of being. Space and time continuum, dimensions unseen. Quantum leap past the present, the future's been leaked. Welcome to the now when our views are just dreams. Projected holographically, illusions of grief. Channel to the tune to turn you into sheep. Since my days as a teen, I've chased the same dream. Survived all the struggle, I've strived to stay clean. Dust the dirt off the dickies, yeah. Blood stains my tea. Nicked and burnt epidermis, plus the pain no one sees. Paid my dues to the earth, now it's time to make cream. I play the back of the club where I make it rain. Please. Nah, I'm talking about wisdom, I exercise my faculties. Son of Saturn, Amun more, bitch, slap a whack MC. Chop him up with chakra, then feed him to the nasty beats that dwell inside my head. They've intruded, man, they're after me like Hellenistic priests. From Seleucid, I'm a Maccabee with the Torah in my palm. Swinging swords at Alexander's Greeks in the land of Israel. I have flashbacks of a Spanish fleet on the port of Saint Domingue. After months upon the savage sea, Maltese crossing the sail that represents the cavalry, Condor Legion, down to make these cannons scream. Today, tomorrow, where you gonna be? Sand in the hourglass, a peasant to king. What role you wanna play? There's many levels of being. Space and time continuum, dimensions unseen. Quantum leap past the present, the future's been leaked. Welcome to the now when our views are just dreams. Projected holographically, illusions of grief. Channel to the tune to turn you into sheep. I see your eyes are open, but are you asleep?
So we have created a new arm of the law. The Grammaton Cleric.
Attend the Las Vegas Congress of Anti-Aging Medicine, and you'll be amazed about the many presentations in anti-aging, stem cells, regeneration, disease treatments, facial rejuvenation, and anti-aging lifestyle. One key area would be the use of a new deer antler extract that can be replaced instead of human growth hormone, much less expensive. And hundreds of exhibitors with new modalities in facial rejuvenation, hair growth, body shaping, weight management, and anti-aging nutrients. Check it out at worldhealth.net.
Brooksy, maker of fine laptop apparel, laptop covers and sleeves, iPhone covers, and unique home decor. Brooksy laptop sleeves are made to order and can be custom made to fit your computer. Just send a message with your order telling us the model and the dimensions of your laptop, and we'll make you your very own sleeve in whichever design you choose. Any of the pillow designs can be turned into laptop sleeves too. Remember, Brooksy for all your computer embellishment needs. You can find Brooksy at www.brooksy.com. That's BROKESY.com. And remember to tell them that you heard it here on LA Talk Live. We are more than just talk.
Hey everybody, it's your man Sabir Bay back on your airwaves, inviting you to join us every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Sabir Bay Show, discussing history, law, and hip-hop. Every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the Sabir Bay Show, exclusively on latalklive.com. You also can catch us on iTunes Radio and R&B, Live 365, Radio Flag, and now Stitcher Radio. Or watch us and listen directly at latalklive.com. Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
The American Heart Association's Heart Walk is coming. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your coworkers. Help yourself and those around you to live longer, healthier lives. Form a team today and walk to help the American Heart Association defeat heart disease and stroke, two of the nation's leading killers. For more information, visit heartwalk.org.
With so much on my mind at one time, at times I wish I could recline and just press rewind. But I'm knowing life's not a VCR recorder. It just plays forward even through this world order. Elite, they know when their time is growing shorter. In this fourth quarter, squad's getting colder, harder. Still I'm striving, finding inspiration from my goddaughter. And all true hip-hop buzz, and the people keeping their heads atop the waters, flooding in from the government's involvement. See, they creating problems, then they claim to have a remedy to solve them. But what they really doing is robbing society blind. How they do this first is capture your mind, entice it with luxuries that shine, and even have you put your trust in green box. That's when they stole your soul, having it crave exterior gold. So your body's led astray off all the pay you slave at a job, never given a thought. You're being robbed of your very life force. Behold a pale horse, of course, but don't fear it. Gotta listen to your spirit. Behold a pale horse, of course, but don't fear it. You gotta listen to your inner spirit. Behold a pale horse, of course, but don't fear it, cause you gotta listen to your inner spirit.
Coming at you with a nationalist view, like Corky Gonzalez, re-educate you. 13 levels of my mind I'll come across with that militant talk, ready to set it off. Cause when I step I build, for my people plow a field, plant the corn, new generation born, protect those seeds like a warrior from the sun, ready take it to the next millennium. Cause it's for devil, ancient souls against secret circles. See my soul goes back to the Maya, Mexica, Sioux, Lakota and Huichol. So take those dog titles back, I ain't a sea soul. My soul goes deeper than that, I'll turn into a bat. 2 seconds later, you'll feel a jaguar on your back. 0 for the attack, you trying to take me out, I'll come back with 13,000 other jaguars.
I got a hawk feather that was given to me, Tlasoca Matito Shochi Pili, for delivering the courage of the ancestors. Don't ever be discouraged, gotta go forward with the breath and word from the past for the people, illuminating knowledge, counteracting the evil with pictures and paintings from the ancient past. How long will the moon, sun, pyramid last? Will America crash? Is she destined for destruction? The construction of her essence has been nothing but corrupted secret government. I'll uncover it just beyond the third dimension with some hummingbird wisdom for trilateral commissions, having Osilo visions on the face of the earth where the warriors cry out for our mother earth first. So sacred, this land's more valuable than dirt to the eagles in the square inside the circle where the jaguars growl. We're not Latino, not Hispanic, not mestizo, never make me a vendido. Amo, nahak ni Chicano, nahak ni Chicano.
Jaguar warriors ascending, eagle warriors descending, defending, never surrendering, negativity ending, bringing oppression to an end like the easy all in. No longer existing on our knees, but living on our feet. No defeat, no retreat. Mexica Tiawi, before thee I stand, an indigenous man, native to this land. Coticas my clan, I'm one with the sand, trees, leaves, and the evening breeze. I represent every element, the water, the wind, the earth, and the fire. Fully dressed in my indigenous warrior attire, like Huitzilopochtli, confronting the enemy, defending my indigenous family eternally to the final victory, fulfillment of a prophecy. Even before the Anasazi, intertribal link goes back further than you think. The black and red ink, watching Western theory sink like the great Titanic, out in the middle of the Atlantic, out by the Bermuda Triangle. I'm coming at you from a different angle. Ancient traditional circle, keys of spiritual power universal to the warrior that's noble.
Sorry, just had to let that play out. I love that song right there. But anyways, everybody, welcome back to Parallels, because the truth isn't always as clear. With your host, Agente Chavez, holding it down here. Now it's going to be every Tuesday at 6.
Woo.
It used to be at 7.
Oh.
And then it went to 8.
Oh.
And then we came from a 1-hour show to 2-hour show, and then they used to make 3-hour shows. But anyways, big shout out to my boy D Royal. I don't know where he's at right now. He's probably DJing out somewhere or performing somewhere. But you've met him before, right? D Royal?
D Royal been on the show. That's my guy.
All right, no problem. So big shout out to my boy D Royal. He used to be my original co-host.
Word.
Yeah.
Shout out to D Royal.
Yeah, big shout out to my boy D Royal. I don't know where my girl is today, Lulu.
Aww.
Big shout out to my girl Lulu. She's probably stuck in traffic or something. I don't know. But she does help out the elderly.
Okay.
She does volunteer a lot of her time, and she's a big pet advocate.
Good.
And when I mentioned to her who our guest was going to be today, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I got to do whatever I can to get there. I got to get there. But I don't know where she's at.
She's
MIA. She's MIA right now. But anyways, everybody, welcome back to Parallels, because the truth isn't always as clear. We got a little bit of necro there with black helicopters, because they're always following you.
Word.
The black choppers. Ooh. When you see the black choppers, because it's too late.
Better duck.
Oh, no.
You can see the sheriff's chopper. You can see the news chopper. You know who they are. But when you see the black chopper,
Yes.
It's too late to run. They already know where you are.
Scary.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah, buddy. But anyways, let's head over to Mallory's Corner.
Okay.
Let's fly over in these black helicopters over here to Mallory's
Okay.
Corner, and let's get a little bit into Mallory. I know we talked about a lot of different topics earlier in the intro of the show, and I want you to take it over, Mallory's Corner.
Okay. I just wanted to give a few facts about a vegan diet because we were talking about pollution earlier and gas and everything like that. So what I wanted to read to you is the typical U.S. diet generates nearly 1.5 tons more carbon dioxide per person per year than a vegan diet. Okay. Also, the livestock industry is responsible for 18% of global greenhouses gas emissions. So, I mean, if anyone cares about the world, which you should, maybe consider going green by having a vegetarian diet or maybe consuming meat that isn't, factory farmed meat, maybe free range,
Now, how would that affect? How would that OPEC? I'm thinking OPEC. How would that affect the pockets of consumers if they were to go to grass-fed instead of?
Oh, let me tell you. Okay, I'm a vegan, so today I went grocery shopping, and my groceries came up to $18, probably because all I consume is pretty much a raw food diet. But honestly, it's better for your health too. I mean, it lowers your risk of diabetes, cancer, osteoporosis, a ton of health, problems that can occur.
Dane.
Yes.
Earlier we had a drink. I won't mention from where. What was in that drink?
Water?
No way, the other one.
Oh, Rosby.
Great.
Oh, the evergreen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, cucumbers, celery, apples, lemon. I think wheatgrass as well.
I believe so.
Wheatgrass and
Okay.
lemon. And lemon.
That's why you guys are looking so great right now. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
We're growing. We're growing green.
Yes, you're evolving. Good job.
But then this also affects pets as well, right?
In what way? What do you mean?
The dog foods and cat foods.
Yeah.
Is it the same meats? Is it the leftovers? How does that work nowadays?
Yeah. Okay. So what's basically happening to our dog food? Our dogs are eating the worst food that they can get because what they're doing is they're getting the byproduct of the cow and they're just grinding it up. What you have to understand is these cows stand in their fecal matter, for months at end.
Yeah.
And all those feces get stuck in the hooves of the cow. And when they use that byproduct and they grind it all up and put it in your dog food, for sure there's E. coli in there. I mean, that's why also when the spread of mad cow disease happened, it happened so quickly because it's in our pets' food. A lot of these cows that are chopped up into dog food, they have cancer, they have tumors, they have all these things wrong with them, and they don't necessarily have to pass the health inspection.
USDA.
Yeah, that they have
Because
to pass
it's not for human
us,
consumption. It's
for animal consumption, and our animals are eating this.
So how does that affect humans? Like what animals are consuming? Like
more vet bills.
well, vet bills as
Just
well.
fine.
But can their problems actually pass on to us as well?
Yeah, I've read some reports that mad cow disease can get animals really sick, and they could potentially die from this.
Well,
So,
I'll ask you a question.
Yo.
You had that great drink, and all this other stuff for yourself. You drink water. Would you give your pet water you wouldn't drink?
No.
Would you feed them? Well, you may feed them scraps.
Yeah.
But would you feed them what you wouldn't eat? Like, oh, I don't know about this. Oh, this may make me sick.
Yeah.
Let me give it to the dog. Let me give it to the cat.
A
Let me
good
get
trick?
A ver.
Put it to them nose. If they smell it and lick it, and they turn it down, then it's not good for you either.
Exactly. They're smart.
They are.
They
Their
know what's
nose
right
is
for them.
strong.
Yeah, they know it's right.
Somebody said I had a dog of a canine the other day. They're like, man, you smell like a dog. Like everywhere we go. Not that I smell like a dog, but that was my own reference.
I thought that's what you just said.
No.
I'm like,
He said, you have
don't
a
tell
nose.
people that.
Okay, I misreferenced. He said, you have a nose like a dog.
Oh
And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, man, We'll be driving. You're like, oh, I smell something. Oh, I smell this. Everywhere we go, we'll be talking. You're like, you even smell people. What the hell? And, and then we were just tripping out. It was just funny. But going back to the pets and for example, dogs.
Yeah.
I've heard that their mouths are cleaner than our mouths.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah.
They lick your wound, it won't really get messed up. You lick your own wound, you might die.
Yeah.
What?
You'll infect yourself.
Even
Probably
if you
'cause-
brush your teeth?
Oh,
Nah, I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
brushing your teeth with chemicals.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started. I'm just kidding.
It's Mallory's Corner.
No. I don't want to talk too much about toothpaste right now, but
No, but you were talking a little bit about all these different byproducts and how
Yeah.
it's affecting. Can animals have a vegetarian lifestyle?
not carnivores. But, cows and pigs, they're naturally vegetarian. All they eat is, grass and stuff like that. And that's why we consume them, is because they are supposed to be eating grass, and that's the main form of, energy. But unfortunately, nowadays, animals in the slaughterhouse aren't consuming grass. They're consuming ground up corn, horrible stuff.
Each other.
Each other, chicken, when they don't even consume meat in nature. Another thing that's a misconception is everyone's like, oh, milk, vitamin D. Okay, is it true that cows can produce vitamin D from their milk? Yes. But nowadays, cows no longer have vitamin D in their udders because they aren't free range. They don't eat grass. So how are they going to get vitamin D? They're not getting it from the grass that is, getting vitamin D from the sun. So nowadays, they're basically just living in this slaughterhouse with no sun. And they're adding these vitamins to our milk. I know some horrifying stories about milk, and if you didn't know, there's blood and pus in all our milk. So, I mean, it's cleaned out and it is dyed different colors.
Well, you may want to elaborate that, because there are people that give that to their animals.
Yeah.
There's that conception that, cats like milk, so they'll pour their milk.
I mean, that's a good way to get them to grow quick. I mean, because the growth hormones in milk is amazing. I mean, if you want to gain weight, drink hormone milk. You'll gain a lot of weight. If you want to lose weight, maybe cut milk out of your diet. Yeah.
Does the consumption of, farm raised cows, does this actually shorten our life expectancy?
Can it affect? I mean, if you're going to eat free range meat rather than, slaughterhouse meat, yeah, there's a difference that it can definitely affect your health, because the meat is cleaner and it doesn't have hormones. So say I go to McDonald's and I eat, a burger that's been processed. That meat is no longer meat because of all the hormones and all the chemicals that they've put in it to make it addictive for me to go back. At that point, it's not even meat. All it does is it affects your health, and then you have to get on medication and stuff like that. So if people are going to consume meat and dairy, at least be wise about what type of meat and dairy you're putting into your body. I understand some people love their burgers. I don't blame you, but care about yourself, have respect for yourself. We're beautiful creatures, and we just self-destruct ourselves.
There was a lady here by the name of Jackie
Chan.
Hebner.
Just kidding.
Jackie Hebner.
Okay.
And she wrote this book about cats. At first I was like, oh, really, cats?
Yeah.
But, I was like, oh, she's just an aficionado. But she was actually getting into, like, the nitty-gritties, which it would pretty much lie into all animals.
Okay.
And she was talking about how there's a lot of misconceptions that people have about pets.
Okay, yeah.
The same thing for cats and similar to dogs, but she was talking about how that they're not really meat eaters like you just mentioned.
Okay.
How they limit their consumption, how people give them all this food off the dinner table, and then they're like, damn, what's wrong with this dog? Why is he so lazy? Like, what's wrong with this dog? What's wrong with this cat?
Yeah.
And that can actually avoid a lot of trips to the ER. You're asking, how can that affect you?
Yeah.
You're not going to the ER. You're healthy, you're running, you're young. But what about your pet?
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? You have your animal with you. He gets sick. You got to take him to the vet.
Yeah.
It's like a child.
Yeah.
It is a child.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
True.
It's a companion. I remember having puppies as a kid, and Nah, I won't really get into it because it's sad. But
Don't cry. That's
damn.
why you're not on camera today.
Exactly.
Don't
But-
embarrass us. I'm just kidding.
She said us.
But I remember I used to have a couple of dogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my dad didn't want the dogs, right? So he wanted to get rid of these dogs, and they just happened to have fucking puppies. Oh my god, it was like a madhouse. Like 11 puppies running all around the house.
What?
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Sounds fun.
it was, but you know, he didn't want them, so he gave them to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I hear, this person took him back down to the beach and left them all at the beach.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
And I was like, really? You gave these dogs away?
Wow.
So, but I mean, I was a little kid.
Yeah.
What did I have a say in?
Yeah.
I mean, where is my father? I'm no one to judge, but hey,
Yeah.
to each his own.
Yeah. That's not
But
good.
you feel what I'm saying? And that's why I love the song, the intro to this to the show with the parallels. You know, Sugar Army.
Yeah.
You know, it talks about friends.
Mm-hmm.
Be the best friend that you can.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? There's times that in every place, every aspect, everybody hits a boiling point and aspects and all this other stuff, and
Yeah.
it can affect each other.
Yeah.
You know, and going back to Mallory's corner, you know, all that pollution that is coming from all these cows, that's affecting the greenhouse. It's probably affecting it worse than carbon from your emissions.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? It's a whole different way of pollution. The more people, like I mentioned earlier, the more people there are, the more pollution there's going to be.
Yeah.
The more stuff is going to be missing.
Yeah.
The more resources are going to be gone. Just like it happened on Easter Island, it could happen to us. Just take. Happened to Haiti. Same thing. Came over, conquered. Thank you very much. Peace. Later. You can have it now.
Yeah.
All the trees are gone. Everything's gone. All
Yeah.
vegetation's gone.
Yeah.
What do you leave people with? Nothing. And that's what we thrive with.
Mm-hmm.
We need vegetation. We are herbivores, but
Yeah.
there's an obstacle now with water being a resource. And now all this pollution, we had Dr. Hans Kugler earlier talking about chemtrails or aerosol sprays.
Yeah.
How can that affect plants if people that are vegetarians growing their food outside?
I know. Okay. Because, I mean, the chemtrails and also, you know, the pesticides in the food too. It's honestly an uphill battle in this world because you can cut out meat and that'll help you a lot because of all the hormones in it. But then you want to go to a vegetarian diet or a vegan diet and you want to consume more fruits and vegetables. Well, then they got you again because there's pesticides and, like you said, the chemtrails that are, you know, releasing chemicals into the air. All these things start affecting our health as well. So it's kind of like you're trapped. So this is what I do every weekend. Well, I start my day off with a fruit vegetable smoothie. And then at least twice or 3 times a week, I detox in my sauna and I do teas and all that because you want to remove as many toxins as possible and you want to stay away from makeup. Women keep wearing makeup, and I know I have makeup on right now, but I make my makeup out of food, believe it or not. So, you know, if you want to make compact, the powder for your face, you know, you can use cocoa powder, you can use cornstarch, things like that. I think people need to get creative and stop being so mainstream and maybe think outside of the box, you know, a little bit and really observe the world and ask yourself, what am I putting in my body and on my body? Because your body, whatever is on it, absorbs 80% of what you put on your body.
A lot of people, they just staring at the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
The TV screen, it's the rabbit hole.
Yeah, don't be fooled by the TV screen, you know, it's all lies.
But you know what? This is part of where parallels comes in because it's not always a lie.
Okay.
What you mean, man? What you mean?
Don't lie.
You know, there's always movies, you know, oh, sci-fi, that doesn't, that can never happen. No, it's a movie. But then there's truth
in that
within the movies. Like there's
True.
messages.
Hidden.
Yeah.
Everything you see in a movie is there for a reason. It's not there that it ended there by accident.
Yeah.
Oh, how that prop ended up there? It was because of a reason.
Yeah.
Why is it always a certain time on all these movies?
Yeah.
It's for a certain reason. Why is it always this number when they walk in through the door? It's for a certain reason.
Yeah.
Why do they always doubt the same? Well, okay, well, 555 because that's the universe. But why this? Why that?
Yeah.
It's all programming. It's all knowing the numbers, understanding it, because it's a game. You know, when people talk about people being evil and doing bad stuff, sometimes people are like, "Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you can't." Why? Because we cannot conceptualize. We in our world, as we know it, our universe, our parallel, we cannot imagine somebody being that evil against somebody else.
I know.
How somebody could take somebody's life or steal from somebody, even though they know that they don't have anything. Screw you. I'm taking this. I'm for me. For me. We're a me society. Everything for me.
Yeah.
We're losing that consciousness. And just because we cannot conceptualize it doesn't mean that there are not people out there that are up to no good.
Yeah.
You know, and it happens every day. It happens every day. As soon as you wake up, it's whatever decision you decide to take.
Exactly.
Sometimes you want to go out and help somebody, motivate, do this, do that. Sometimes, screw this, I'm going to go out and be as evil as I can. Let me see how many people I could get up on.
I know some people like that. What is going on there?
Why do you know those people?
Well, they're called family. They're the family I don't talk to.
But, you know, it just happens like that. And, you know what? I don't know. We have a couple of callers on the line.
Okay.
I don't know if they were on here from earlier. No, they're not. Hold on.
I think
Hello, callers?
I had someone I asked to maybe call in and share a story.
I don't know. Well, they're there, but I guess they're just holding on and wanting to listen. So anyways, thank you for your support.
Thank you.
Continue calling Skype. What was the number, Dane? 323?
473-3100.
Excellent. One more time.
323-473-3100.
Yeah, see. You know me acuerdo. But anyways, Mallory.
Yeah.
Going back to what we're talking about, and you know what, that does affect everybody.
Yeah.
Because now people are being concerned. You know, you could go to a Petco and see how even food now is distinguished, and it tells you what is in your pet's food.
Yeah.
Just like your baby food, you want to make sure you give your baby the best food. Same thing to your pet. It's your companion.
Yeah.
You know, and I've come across many people that have had dogs where they feed them the scraps, literally the hardcore scraps, the stuff that not even a bum would eat. You know, like bad stuff. Like this is rotten. Get the dog.
Chicken with the bone.
Worse.
Type of stuff.
Yeah, chicken with the bone. He likes it. So he can play later.
He loves that bone. He loves the little bone.
You know, we'll hear from Leon and you know, get his aspect on that. But Mal, introduce our guest, and we'll take a quick little break so people can stay tuned, and we'll get into the story.
Okay, so our special guest is Leon Rosby, a friend of mine that I met through protesting, and he's going to be sharing his story about the incident that happened to him where he unfortunately lost his dog due to police brutality. So he'll be on.
Cops gone wild.
Wild, not in a good way.
Cops gone wild. I mean, that's the easiest way you could put it.
Yeah.
You know, they're getting rogue. And in the city it happened, in the city of Hawthorne, I even heard that they have lawsuits going on against beating people up and while they're detained, taking pictures.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that, you know, on the other side of this break. But in the meantime, no, I don't want to play that one. No, come down, NWA. No, come down. But, damn, Dane, I thought you were being DJ today.
You didn't hand me the cord. I would have did it.
Oh, man. Let's go with my boy X-Man. Let's take a quick little break, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back with our special guest,
Leon Rosby.
Stay tuned.
Peace.
And everybody was kung fu fighting. Don't mess around and let me hit you with this killer-fied West Side Jiu-Jitsu.
24 Queenstown we lunge. Beijing queens with gold rings through their tongues.
15 ninjas in a row, jumping at the butchers with their taekwondo.
I roundhouse in my Air Force Ones. Cost the glass jaw of the master one shogun.
I jumps in my stand for protection, taking up my cup like the Chinese connection with chop.
We in a temple throwing drop kicks. Pop six, ninjas broke like chopsticks.
Watch them all drop, you can't stop her. Teacher, get the grasshopper.
I found the club on the Beijing map, and a man pulled a bucket to the kung fu match.
the flying guillotine. On with my journey.
Touche, NWA, bon swag.
They rush me from the left, and they rush me from the right. Here come the chef with the Ginsu knife.
What's the picture up on the hill, sister warrior? All through the hot hills.
He wanna take my life and put that on my mama and serve my aunt and bring me Hana
Like Jackie Chan and that pimp Chris Tucker in the kung fu stance. It's too hard, mother.
Which style will I use this week? The quarterback technique.
Then back to the bar. Give me a double. 24th, the 24th, the letter, 24th, the letter, that blue face. Then I stick it up, 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 then I stick it up,
Before you come in my house, you can take off your Nikes and bow. And now show you how to withstand this.
Into the dragon, now Neo, son.
Cannabis, venomous, prey mantis. It's like Chinese arithmetic. Cause you never ever thought you'd see the dragon sagging.
Two Tai Chi, fresh khaki suit, white tee. As we blow darts out the Bentley.
Many black ducks wanna try and snatch the pebble from the master. But I'm much faster.
Conquerors in the empress quarters. Geishas and Keisha await new orders.
I mess around and make turtle soup. Do a flip, fly, tuck back on a drum loop.
The twin dragon, 5 fists of lightning. All the homies was kung fu fighting. The homies was kung fu fighting. The 24 straight giant.
I sing. Sound boy, there's no need to worry. As long as I got my nines, I keep you by my side for you. So you don't have to worry at all. I shine my Glock every night until I'm satisfied. And there's no more thoughts to the joy it brings. I want to follow you up with lead. Shoot to kill every day. Shoot to kill, sound boys. Gun without a limit. Shoot to kill every day. Shoot to kill, sound boys. Gun without a limit. Me just park them up, shot them up, lick up them head. Now tell no lie, a long time them fit dead. Empty clock, load it back and step down the block. Make them know bad boy don't take that. We just cut them up, how we wicked like that. Now tell no lie, enough guys so I flop. PDP, I'm a lion combined. Make them know we just shut out a guy's spine. Wicked bad boy and they on the front line. Cause we gone down giant church, now go Sunday school.
Hi, this is Jean Noel Bassior, inviting you to join me for my new show, The Book Beat, Monday evenings at 6:30 p.m. I'll be talking to authors about their latest book so you can find a fantastic read. But more than that, I'll be talking to experts about how you can write your own book and get it published. So tune in on Mondays at 6:30 p.m. exclusively on latalklive.com. And remember, you can catch us on iTunes Radio R&B or watch us on Ustream TV. Reality radio, handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
Hi, this is Dr. Lewis Logan, inviting you to join me every Friday from 11 a.m. to 12 noon for Faith, on the front line. We don't just talk about it. We are about it. That's our motto. Don't just talk about it, be about it. We highlight the issues and challenges that we face today and how faith communities and leaders make a difference. So don't forget to tune in to Faith on the Front Line, exclusively here on LA Talk Live. You can also catch us on iTunes Radio and R&B and watch us on Ustream TV. Reality radio handcrafted for your listening pleasure. This is LA Talk Live, and we are more than just talk.
People rebelling by any means. That's right, Mr. Olmeca. Big shout outs right there, holding it down. Big shout out to my boy Zero from El Vu. Everybody, thank you for joining us here. Oh, jeez, I put up the wrong frame here. Sorry. But anyways, we're back on camera now. So, hey, welcome. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I believe we lost our caller. Oh, no, he's still on the line.
Okay.
But everybody, we have two guests on at the same time.
Yes.
And one of them has to go, so we're definitely going to get to him. But another one, we're fortunate enough to be able to have him in the studio, and he's going to hang around for a little bit and get more into detail into his tragic story with Cops Gone Wild. Yeah. Cops Gone Wild is the easiest way you could put it. Cops Gone Wild. And it's horrible. It's unbelievable. People that we entrust our tax dollars with to protect us are actually against us. But we'll get into that in a few minutes. Yeah. But Mr. Leon, welcome, and thank you for joining us
Thank
here.
you very much for having me.
And Miss MJ, who do we have on the line?
Okay, who we have on the line is the owner of Chico Blue, who his pit bull was shot 5 times. Well, the dog was shot in his own backyard, okay? So the owner is going to call us and tell the whole story. He witnessed this happen. Unfortunately, he didn't have video proof like Leon did. You know, if he had been filming, maybe it could have helped him more in this case, but let him tell you the details, and he wants to talk to Leon and share his story too.
I believe he's on the line.
Okay, let's hear from him. Hello?
You got to welcome him
Hi,
again.
Arturo?
Hello?
Hello, hi. Welcome to Parallels.
Oh, you know what? I can barely hear you guys. There's music in the background.
Oh.
We just turned it off for you. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, we have no music going on, brother. Not at this moment. So you shouldn't be hearing any music. Maybe you're listening in a delay, but there should be no music going on right now. But welcome.
Okay, there's not anymore. It's clear now. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Thank you so much for your support, and thank you for joining us here. Mallory, give him introduction once again, please, now that he could hear us. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Arturo. He is the owner of Chico Blue, the pit bull who was murdered by cops. And we also have Leon Rosby here, whose Rottweiler was shot by the police. And we want to connect them right now so they can share their stories. Arturo, can you tell us what happened to Chico Blue?
Yeah, there was a call about a shooting, so they came to the house. Well, an officer asked to speak to me, and I told him, sure. I went over there to talk to him, and I quickly turned from, let me talk to you, to turn your hands. Put your hands behind your back, turn around. Do you have any drugs, guns, whatever on you? I was like, no, I'm wearing shorts and muscle shirt, But anyway, I was cooperative with him. I walked over, down the driveway to the end of the driveway where he was waiting. And like I said, I quickly turned from, I'm going to place you in the cop car. And I was like, for what, What am I under arrest, or what's really going on here? So I was placed in the cop car. There's no explanation. I understand he's doing his job or whatever. So my dog, I had gotten him and secured him in his own backyard. I built him a fence to separate the backyard from the front. He has tie-outs both in the front and back. Did everything I could to protect him. I mean, he's my family, slept at the foot of my bed, on his own bed. For 3 years, I bathed, fed, walked him.
Right.
Even when I really didn't feel like walking him, I did it because it was for him.
Right.
I loved him.
That's right.
I did everything I could, once again, to protect him because of the stigma against these dogs. You know, that they're evil, that they're vicious.
Yeah.
I mean, my dog plays with kids. My dog, everybody loves him, you know.
Yeah.
And my son, you know, this is his first experience with a dog as well as mine. And my son, you know, it hurt him so much that he got a picture of him tattooed on his arm. And my son doesn't even like tattoos, which surprised me. Huh?
Now,
Yeah, it really surprised me, you know.
I got a quick question
So
for you, bro.
anyway,
I got a quick question for you before we continue. I want to ask you. I believe that I know the answer to this, but for the public, by any chance, is this dog a pit bull?
Yes, he's a blue-nosed Gotti.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Which is a species of pit bull.
Okay. So go ahead. Continue with your story.
Okay, so I'm sitting in the cop car. There's an Explorer sitting in front of me, which is like a trainee, I guess, you know, for the sheriff. Yeah. So I see other cops begin to show up, and I already kind of got a good idea of how these guys act when they get bunched up together. You know,
Right.
we do what we want, and shut up.
Yeah.
You know.
Can I ask you a question?
Take it.
This is Leon. Can I ask you a question? Is it Arturo?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. This is Leon Rogers. How are you? Nice to meet you, Arturo.
You too, man.
You were saying that you were in the police car. Were you arrested?
No, I was never arrested.
So you were being false in prison. You were actually being false in prison, and you were being handcuffed and put in the vehicle for what reason?
For, I guess, his safety. I don't know.
Wow.
My safety. That's what they explained to me after.
Well,
my safety.
Well, by law, they're not able to handcuff you, false imprison you, or none of that unless you are arrested or you are going to be arrested or whatever the case may be legally. Okay? Right. So what they did, they violated your civil rights. And that's one of the things that I can see based on what you're saying. Okay, by you being placed in the car, especially if you were at your home, is one of the Fourth Amendment rights. If you were in your home, they violated your Fourth Amendment right. You know, I'm not an attorney. I would say to consult an attorney. I'm just kind of going based on my experiences with the office with police officers myself.
Right.
Go ahead. I just wanted to kind of interject.
Right. I appreciate that too, and that's how it felt. That's exactly what it felt like. Like I was totally ignored. Like I wasn't even a human being. Like I didn't even matter. You know.
Right.
We currently do have an attorney, Joe Ryder. She's also an advocate for EARN, which is Expand Animal Rights Now.
That's good.
And she's on the case, man. You know.
That's
so
good.
You know, like it's a shame that this happened to him because he didn't deserve it. He is very well taken care of. He was a good dog. I taught him very well. He had good manners. You know, he wasn't a dog that pulled all over where he wanted to go, or you know. I mean, he's.
So how many times did
3
they
years
shoot
of
him?
my life?
How many times did they shoot him, Arturo?
From what I understand, it was I saw two. I heard and saw the 2 shots.
Okay, so you're saying that
I don't know.
So you weren't actually there when they actually executed your dog.
Yeah, I saw.
You saw it.
Yeah,
okay.
He witnessed it.
Oh, you witnessed it, and that's even worse, because that's kind of in line with how it happened with me. You know, being handcuffed and illegally handcuffed on top of that. You know, and then watching, you know, Max get shot 4 times. You know, it was. I mean, I guess you would know what I was feeling. I mean, only someone that experienced this would actually know in depth exactly what we experienced, based on seeing this, and for them to take it upon themselves to
be judge, jury, and executioner, because that's what they did to both of us. One of the things that you were saying in reference to them putting you in the police vehicle and detaining you, that was a violation primarily too, because I mean, there's no reason for them to do that, and if the dog is in your yard, it's insanity to me. This is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Now, thank you once again for joining us, Arturo. You know, it's tragic because it seems there's a stigma behind pit bulls. I mean, we understand pit bulls. They're very strong animals. They're very protective.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there is no protocol that seems to be in place. It just seems that they're just aiming. Like I mentioned before the break, it's cops gone wild. They're just going crazy. Back, a few years ago, they were able to shoot a human being and be able to get away with it.
Right.
They would get the thrill. And now it's getting to the point where you're saying there's thousands and thousands of people that are reaching out to you, Leon.
Oh, yeah.
And they're going through the same thing.
Right.
Where is the protocol? I mean, we don't hear that going on with the Department of Water or the Department of Gas the mailman.
That's right.
The mailman might get bit in the butt, but that's about it. But we don't hear them even rarely spraying mace. That's only like in the movies.
Well, like I was telling you guys earlier, I'm an independent contractor for utility companies, a gas company. So I've been working for a gas company for 6 years. So I actually canvass. I walk around, knock on doors, and talk to people and what have you. So I run across a lot of pets. I run across a lot of dogs. And one of the things that I never had to do throughout all these years is to hurt or to try to hurt someone's pet. There's protocol that I operate with as far as going in people's yards or being aware of what's around me. Yeah. You name it. There's things to do. Now, if you have a police officer that's supposed to be licensed and trained to carry a weapon, in addition to that, they supposed to be specialized in their environment or their surroundings. Yeah. Okay. So
they sure are.
Excuse me?
They sure are.
Right.
They sure are.
So if they're trained and then they do things like that, and I'm not saying all police officers are bad, and I say this, the reason why I say this,
of course not,
because I have family members that are law enforcement, but then there are some out there that are corrupt,
rogue.
They are rogue, and they're doing what they want to do because for whatever reason. So I believe that training. There should be protocol with officers when they handle people, pets, and family members. If you notice, and I think this was about a week ago, a couple of days ago, they were trying to catch a bear in Granada Hills.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know a lot of people seen that. It took them an entire day to catch this bear.
Yeah.
I mean, from the morning to the afternoon to the evening almost.
Non-stop coverage.
Non-stop coverage. I mean, they tased. I mean, they tranquilized him. You name it. Yeah. They did everything they could to resolve it in a peaceful way.
Yeah, but they can't do the same for
But they can't do that for your pets and your dogs.
Is Arturo still on the line?
Of course he is. Of course
Arturo, I know you're on a lunch break right now. Could you just tell us what exactly the police did to your dog? Because I know it was beyond just shooting your dog.
Yeah, they tortured him first. Like I said, he was enclosed in the backyard. Okay, now when that shooting occurred, I went and got my dog and I secured him in the backyard. And that's when the cops saw me and asked to talk to me, and I was placed inside the cop car. So now all these guys are showing up, and like I said, I know how they get when they're all together, And I gotta say too that not all of them are like this, but it takes one or two of them, to start a fire, and if there's nobody there to watch over them or speak up, I mean, what's the point of having rank in that organization? Who takes control who's in charge, you know?
Right.
Because they look like a bunch of yahoos that day.
Right.
They look like a bunch of kids that nobody cared about anything, and nobody said, "Hey, what are you doing, man?" You know? No, they just did what they wanted. So, anyways, more and more of them gathered. I saw them go to the back. There's 2 patio chairs on the driveway at the end of it, right by the fence. So they got one of the patio chairs and threw it over the fence at my dog. You know, now what is that all about? Why are you trying to upset my dog?
Yeah,
or why are you doing that to my dog in the first place if he's in his own home, not your home, his home?
Right.
He doesn't deserve that. So then after that, I see them go into the yard, and all this while I'm telling them, you know, my dog's in the backyard. I need to secure my dog. I need to secure my dog. There's tie-ups in the front and the back. All they had to do is let me out and you know, put them on a tie-up. And go about your business and do what you got to do. If you got to search the place or the neighbors or whatever you got to do, you know? It was simple as that. And I was ignored over and over and over again because there was plenty of cop cars arriving. And each one that arrived, I would say the same thing over and over. I even told the Explorer that I told you guys were sitting in front of me. And she stayed quiet the whole time. I even said, you know what? I know you're probably not supposed to talk to me, but can you please relay the message to one of your people that my dog needs to be secured, you know?
Right.
And, you know, finally, she did say something to one of them when I heard my dog yelping in pain, you know? And I was like, they're killing him, you know, they're killing him. And that wasn't the case. What they did was they tased him in the face. He went to go hide behind a tree by his doghouse that's back there, by his tie-up, and they still tased him in the face. So that's what I was hearing, and I was like, oh my God, you know, I thought it was over. I thought he was dead. You know, I didn't hear shots or nothing, but I was like, you know, I didn't think they did that to him, but apparently they did. So when these guys were done doing what they did, they left the backyard, and they left the gate open. They left the gate open. So they walked out. They just hurt my animal, okay, in his own home, and they left the gate open, walked out. As about, I want to say about 5 of them are walking. We have a pretty long driveway. Those guys are walking down the driveway. There's 2 more at the very beginning of the driveway on the sidewalk, okay? Now my dog comes out, and I'm like, oh, my God, no, you know, and I see him walking out. He's staggering out, and he's got this look on his face like he is just horribly frightened, and he has a big gob of saliva hanging down his mouth, the left side of his mouth. He's looking at the cop to his right and his left, weaving his way in between them. Okay, now he has their back to him, but he's moving his way through them, looking at each one as he's passing them, because he's like, why did you do this to me? And he's looking out toward me, trying to find me, but he doesn't see me, and I'm sitting in the cop car, okay?
Right.
Now, when he gets to the last 2 cops that are at the sidewalk, the one that shot at him, he passed him, okay? And that guy, I don't know where he got this from, but this is very dangerous, people, okay? Because if a cop gets startled that easily, wow, what if it would have been a person, okay?
Right.
He passed him.
Right.
He's already in the middle of the street
Right.
when the cop threw and shot twice.
Wow.
Like, oh, whoa, bam, bam. The cop hit his own employee, his own coworker, I should say.
He hit him?
He ricocheted and hit him in the leg.
With the bullet?
Okay? Now, I thought at this point that my dog was not shot because he jumped immediately into a cop car that was in front of mine. Okay? These guys tried to say that he jumped through the window, that this is the cop's excuse that he was worried about one of them being attacked. That's why he did it. Okay? He just passed 5 of your officers. He had their back. After everything you guys did to him, you threw a chair at him, okay, to antagonize him. If he was such a vicious pit bull, believe me, when you took a step in that backyard, he would have been all over you.
Right.
Okay? Tased him in the face. In the face, you tased him, okay? And then you left him there, and he still didn't do nothing to you.
Wow.
And then you left the gate open, and he came out from behind you guys and still didn't do anything to you guys. past every single one of you, trying to find escape, trying to find refuge, trying to find his master. I would bet my life on it, and was shot in the back.
Wow.
So
what
car.
What officers are these? What actually city is this?
What's that?
What city do you live in? What's
I live in the city of Pico Rivera.
Okay, so what's the officers? What are they? Are they police, sheriffs, or Pico Rivera police, or what? What is it?
They're sheriffs.
Oh, okay.
But they claim it was a deputy sheriff. That was, I don't know what that means, They don't want to claim it, I guess.
Can I ask?
We're the sheriffs, we do no wrong, but the deputy, I guess,
We have a question for you. Another one.
What was your reaction like, just offhand, seeing all this happen and not being able to do anything?
It's like you're shooting and hurting my son.
Wow.
Like I said, I took care of him for 3 years. I mean, my dog almost died of parvo. I spent $1,000 just to save his life.
Yeah.
Same thing.
That's how much I love him.
Just
how much I didn't want him to die.
Arturo, earlier before we had you on the line, we were just going into we were talking about a vegetarian lifestyle. We were on Mallory's Corner, and we were talking a little bit about having a vegetarian diet and all the dangers of the meat industry and what we're feeding our animals, and it's just the byproducts all mixed in. And one of the things that sometimes people don't realize is how your pet's life affects you. You were in the hospital. I mean, you're probably healthy, you're okay, but you wouldn't spend that money, to go to the hospital. But you had to spend it for your animal,
right,
for your child. That's like your baby.
That's right.
That's where sometimes people lose that misconceptuality, just because they're so desensitized.
Yeah.
And I saw somebody post a picture like that the other day of some famous girl killing a cat or stepping on a cat or something like that. I was like, man, that's...
Oh, no, don't tell me that.
Wow.
Yeah. And, we're living in a society where it doesn't matter, where people are just hating on each other. It's the only way to vent instead of loving somebody or embracing somebody, helping somebody, is by putting them down so they could feel better.
Yeah.
Well, it's hate, hate and evil, does exist. A lot of times people will try to make it seem like it don't exist, but it does. I mean,
it sure
if
does.
good and evil is there. So it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see if somebody shooting a dog 4 times or shooting him 3 times or whatever the case may be, for whatever pleasure they might be getting or whatever the case may be. But you raising a pet for 3 years or 2 years like my Max, it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of your family. It becomes a part of your children's life. So when it's like losing a loved one, it's like losing a family member. And, I had since this ordeal, I had maybe about 9 or 10 people ask me, do I want another Roddy? I've been, people want to give me puppies, and
Not the same.
It's a process. I tell them like this, I'm not ready. My family's not ready. I thank you and I appreciate your love and your support that you're giving us, and that it's awesome that you want to give us another puppy and what have you. But when you raise, people don't realize that pets or dogs or animals or cats or whatever, they have personalities. They have individual personalities.
Yeah.
And they communicate with you. It might not be vocal, but dogs communicate with you just like you and I are talking right now.
Oh, yeah.
But it's in a way where after a while, when you have them so long, then you know that they're communicating. Yeah. Like if you're a stranger and you just come in the house with a pet or an animal, you don't know that dog or that cat or whatever is communicating, but you haven't been around them, you haven't spent that time with them, so you really don't know. So when someone take it upon themselves to execute or to kill or to murder or whatever in their head they might be thinking, it's awful. It's awful. It's been almost 4 months. I mean, June 30th is when Max was actually executed.
Wow.
And I'm still, a person say, well, man, you a man, man up.
justice for Max.
Let me tell you something. You know, a
And
man.
Chico Blue.
Yeah,
Chico
a man.
Blue.
A man to me is someone that can love.
Yeah.
That's a
exactly.
man to me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So when I hear that, you know, I just want you guys to know that it's something that we have to do. I'm a solution orientated type of person. I want to get solutions from based on what may have happened in my life. So for me, I believe, you know, that they need training, they need their policies and procedures to be changed. And then in addition to that, we need an independent organization outside the police force that are overseeing them.
Yes.
That will not be corrupted by politics or biases or anything else. Not no internal review or what do you excuse me?
Go ahead, Arturo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt, guys.
Oh, that's okay.
They're already on here. I got my lunch break is over. I got to get back. I appreciate everything. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, bro, but
that's okay.
I just
it's
want
a
to leave you
blessing.
guys with words.
Do you have my Facebook?
Blue all the way.
Do you have my Facebook page, Arturo? Because I would love to talk to you outside of this.
Arturo, Leon just wants to connect with you, you know, over the internet. So I'll send you all that information. I'll send it to your son, and we'll all be in contact soon again. Okay?
Hey, Arturo, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you,
Just let me leave you with this. If it would have been me that would have hurt a police dog like that, I'd be facing life in prison right now.
All of us.
You sure would have.
So you guys have a good night.
God bless you.
And thanks again, okay?
No problem. Good night.
Thank you, man. Thank you for stopping by,
Nice
man.
meeting you.
Have a wonderful night, man.
Bye.
Wow, that was powerful right there, man. That was
really powerful.
It's great to, you know, hear someone who kind of went through something similar to you, because, you know, you always vent to me or, you know, the other Team Max members. And we can only, you know, understand so much. We sympathize with you. But at the same time, to be able to relate like that, that was amazing.
Yeah, that was on point
We saw it
because
too.
it was on point because see, when you're false imprisoned, you know, and you know without a shadow of a doubt that you haven't done anything. You know, it's almost like a modern day lynching.
Yeah.
That's the way I felt at the point. You know, people. I had like supporters and different people that would get on and say, you know, well, you know, they murdered Max, but you know, let's not bring in race. Let's not bring in human rights or civil rights violations or whatever the case may be. See, I'm like this. I want justice for all.
Yes.
And justice for all to me is to make sure that we know the exact problem in order for us to have the exact solution to it.
Yes.
Right.
There's no way in the world that we can come up with a solution if we don't know the problem. See, the problem is not only that they killed Max and shot him 4 times, but the problem is that people's rights are being violated, human rights, civil rights. You have police abuse, you have police brutality, police cruelty. You even have people that's cruel. But these particular times, people that we pay their salaries. I own a business. See, people don't really know some of the things about me. You know, they just assume because of the color of my skin, because I got some real hateful messages through the course of this. I got a lot of supporters and love, but I had some hateful people calling me the N-word. Who do I think I am? You know, you black this, whatever. But as a man of God that love God, I know that I don't wrestle against flesh and blood. I wrestle against principalities and wickedness in high places. So I knew at that time I had to love them in spite of themselves.
Yep.
Even the officer that shot Max, I forgive him.
Yeah.
But I want him to pay for what he did, because what he did, he said he was going to kill him.
Yeah.
He said, I'm going to shoot him before he did it. So it was premeditated that he did it. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that...
And you hear people on the video say, no,
Right.
don't shoot him. No, don't shoot him.
See, I was
That
saying,
makes
please
sense.
don't shoot him. I said, please don't shoot him.
Of course.
Yeah.
See, the audio and the video. See, the tape that the officers brought out, the second tape, the second video, they thought it was going to kind of validate what they did. But what it did, it made it worse for them because now you can hear the conversation that we had between one another. Because I didn't engage the officers. I didn't engage them. All I did, I was doing what everybody else was doing. But the only thing that I did that was different was I had Max with me. But I didn't want to leave him in the car because it was almost like 100 degrees that day. Okay, so I pulled him out to kind of let him get some air, use the bathroom, sniff around, whatever, dogs do. But I made sure that I stayed behind those vehicles, those patrol cars, because I didn't want to go into the perimeter to be a distraction. But so they said, oh, his music was blaring. I heard, now let me tell you something, that was a rental car. Don't have a boogie box, don't have nothing in it. It was just regular music. They must have amplified that music on that second tape. They doctored it. But I heard, an ice cream truck down the street. If you listen to the whole tape, you can probably hear that ice cream truck too.
There's a lot of bands.
But that ice cream truck going on and they playing Christmas music or whatever.
Let me tell you something. I'm a video editor and also I know how to edit audio.
Right.
Right. And it definitely sounds like the sounds were heightened.
They heighten it.
Unless this person had like an amazing cell phone that picks up on audio like that. But honestly, when I watched it, I'm like, wow, that is so loud.
It really was. I saw the entire video. And it's real loud.
Now if you can hear the guy, if you can hear the guy across the street, the actual one that actually it went viral, 10 million people viewed.
Yeah.
If you can hear them talking.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you can hear people communicating and talking, obviously it wasn't that loud. Now, mind you, when I got out the vehicle and the two officers was there, they left me alone. Now, all of this happened within a 4-minute period. They were in the middle of the block.
Sure.
So when I finished up what I was doing, I said, okay, let me go. Let me put Max in the car. And I'm getting ready to get into the front seat. They called me back. I was getting ready to leave.
Yep.
You get over here. So I'm thinking they were going to chew me out or tell me, knucklehead, get out of here, whatever. Don't be a distraction.
Yeah.
Do you know when they looked at me, I can almost tell that they were getting ready to to assault me. So I immediately turned around and gave them my hands because of the experience I had with them last year. They broke my ribs. So I was already like kind of, like frightened in a way and a little tensed. I don't want to say frightened, but I was kind of like conscious of what they would do or they could do.
Anticipating.
Right. So I turned around and gave them my hands. But if you notice on the video, they started roughing me up with the handcuffs on.
I noticed. Yeah.
They hit me on the shoulder. They hit me on my ribs. They were kicking my legs open.
Yeah.
So what they were doing, they were actually getting maxed aroused.
Yeah.
So they heard him barking because I heard him barking.
The more they grabbed you,
the more they were handling me.
Yeah.
They wanted him to respond.
Yeah, because my boyfriend has 2 dogs. They're little dogs, and even if he hugs me, they start barking.
Get upset.
And I mean, anyone with common sense knows that if they're rough handling you, that it's gonna provoke your dog to want to attack them. And honestly, this was, like you had said before, it felt like it was set up.
Oh yeah, it was premeditated. If you notice, when I got out the car, listen to the second video. Charles Walton, he edited. He kind of like went through it and broke it down.
Okay.
And if you listen to the second video, the first thing that they said, the 2 officers said to me, "You and your dog get back in the car and get out of here." So my response was, "Why do I have to leave? Everybody else out here doing the same thing."
Exactly.
So I said that. That's the first thing that was said. Second thing that was said, because I responded like, I don't have to leave because
you're
legally,
not breaking any laws.
I'm not breaking any law.
Yeah.
So the second thing they said, if you mess with the police, you go to jail. Now, why would I go to jail? Okay. So then they leave. They up the street. So I said, why? I made a statement. And I think it kind of got thrown out of whack.
Okay.
They had asked me something. I said, let me ask you a quick question since you're asking me questions. why are there not any minority or black officers out here? Because see now the reason why I asked, because I saw they saying that it was a robbery suspect in the house. I saw three women sitting on the curb. If you see that video, if you look down halfway the block, you'll see three women on the curb. They were handcuffed. Guess what their nationalities were? It was two Latinos and one black sitting on the curb. So they saying that it was so volatile and it was so charged with there was a robbery suspect up in there. Then they turn around and have three women sitting on the curb handcuffed. Okay. And then 3 or 4 weeks before that, they raided the same house for drugs. Okay, is it a drug house or is it a robbery house? Now, I live on the next block. Somebody said, oh, well, he didn't have the legal right. Well, what are you there for anyway? I drive home that way. I was coming from the dog park.
And everyone does that. Even if there's just like a car crash, it's in our nature to flock towards the scene to make sure everything's okay. And especially if it's your neighborhood.
Yeah. See, I got kids.
Say that.
Right. My son, he rides his bike around there. My daughter and my kids are in that area, in that neighborhood. So
you have to be aware of these things.
First thing, I wanted to make sure that it wasn't my kids or his friends or anybody else around there too.
Yeah.
Then also I wanted to make sure that I was safe and my wife and my kids and everybody was safe around the corner.
Yeah. I mean, I've known Leon since this incident has happened, and I can tell you as a friend, I know he's a good father, 100%. And I know that he's protective. So for everyone who's, fooled by media and the media tells you, oh, African-American guy blasting his music, trying to make him look like he's a thug or something. Yeah. Don't fall for it. Think outside of the box. Stop following
How
what
many
they
people
tell
don't blare their car audio?
Yeah. You know what?
I do.
Right. But see, the reason why also it may have seemed like it was blaring because all the windows was down. Okay, and then I was playing "Lover and Friends" by Usher. So I mean,
real thug
real thug out there. You know what I'm saying? But
now he's gonna start getting mad and asking for his royalties.
Well,
you know what? Get paid up for all those views.
You know what?
Don't tell Usher.
I tell you like this. I'm gonna tell you just like this. When I would have never in my wildest dream thought that they would have executed Max like that. Yeah. I don't care what I've done. But see, people don't realize. Now, let me say this, and then I can give you just real brief. It was 2 years history I had with these people. The first, I was asked to be a witness against another Hawthorne police officer that was charged for assault on another person, and I was a witness against him. Okay. That was in 2010. The second thing is I was stopped, harassed, profiled, racial profile, and I was given a fix-it ticket, and my lights was working. So it was a bogus stop.
Of course.
So I put in a complaint. I put in a complaint against them. Okay, and then also I had went because, the racial makeup, the racial makeup of Hawthorne. Okay. We have about 49 to 51% Latino.
Yep.
We have about 30. They say 26, but African American. A lot of us don't take census.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
that census? No.
I'm gonna put about 10% more on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So about 26 to 35% African American and Hawthorne, and then the rest is other.
Okay.
Okay. Now what I did, I went to the human resources in 2011. In 2010 rather, and I went to the human resources and I asked the human resource manager there, I said, let me ask you a quick question. I said, now as far as the racial makeup of the city, why do you have 99 officers and only 2 of them are black and 1 of them is part-time? So now what you do is you're creating a hostile environment for a certain part of the community where when they are stopped or when you're driving around, you're harassing them. I've seen actually, and I'm not talking about all the Hawthorne police officers, because I had one officer just recently stop me because my right-left light was out, and this was real. It was
real
out.
Stop.
Real stop. Okay. He stopped me, a Hawthorne police officer now. He stopped me and he said, you know what? Oh, you Leon, huh? Now, this is what he said. He said, you're Leon. I said, yes, I'm the guy. He said, you're the one. I said, yes, sir. He said, I'm really want to apologize to you. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is a couple of weeks ago from today. He said, I want to apologize to you for what happened to you and your dog. And I just want to let you know that I wasn't in agreement with that. And if I was out there on the street with that when that happened, it wouldn't have never happened. Now, that was a blessing. So what I did, I turned around and I told him, and he was a white officer. I told him, I said, you know what, sir? I just want to let you know for telling me that. That is a blessing to me because now you validate what I've always said from day one, that all police officers are not bad.
Of course not.
And that blessed me for him to say that. So what I was, bottom line, what I was doing in Hawthorne, they called me a troublemaker. So the time that they broke my rib back in 2012, they broke my rib in July 2012. About 6 or 7 of them. It was about 10 of them that came on the scene, even the helicopter.
Wow.
And broke my rib and called me a troublemaker. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that until people understand the whole truth, nothing but the truth, you can look at that video, that 3-minute cut, and say, oh, well, he's a troublemaker. He was listening to rap music. Look at him, the arrogant, I heard a lot.
Yeah.
You can believe I heard a lot.
Of course. Yeah.
Now, Facebook got personal messages too.
Yeah.
Now, I've been personal message. I had like all kind of modes. I may have a...
Unfortunately, that still plagues our society, and as we continue to evolve, this is part of, we're getting close to wrapping up here, but this is part of the stuff we used to cover in Parallels. And I believe one of my last shows was like in 2010, I think it was.
Okay.
This is before 2011 and all this other stuff. I mean, 2012.
Yeah.
But one of the conceptualities that I left off and I'm picking up on again is, 2012 was an end. It was an end of ignorance, an end of an age. It was the end. It wasn't the end of the world. So nobody can ever tell the end of the world.
Yeah.
But they predicted that there was going to be a change.
Right.
And there's a misconception from the Aztec calendar and the Mayan calendar.
That's right.
And, the circle one is one and the other one is all written. So that's been all these mistranslations and all this other stuff. So pretty much it all boils down to us awakening.
That's right.
We're being connected to each other. But just like I mentioned earlier before we had you on, there's just people that are just so evil. They're just beyond so evil that we can't conceptualize that evilness. For them, the more evil you are, the better you are, the higher you are. And like I mentioned, like with the cartels, they're chopping up people, cutting off their heads. And for them, that's normal. Why? Because I'm better than you. See, you mess with me, this is what happens to you.
Yeah.
Like life has just gone to a point where it's just
no meaning.
No meaning. It's worthless. It's not even to really conquer anything because that territory has already been conquered by the government.
Yeah.
They control all the drugs. And this is where we have to wake up. And where a lot of stuff is people are within it and they're waking up.
Well, if you
And they're
can see how people are treating animals and pets and stuff like that, that's just an outward showing of how humans are treating themselves.
Oh yeah.
See that's the telltale. So when you see someone shooting, murdering, killing a pet or animal or just doing weird stuff like that, that lets you know that human beings are actually hating one another like that.
Yep.
So what we have to do, and I say this, the ones that are not, hateful, evil, we need to stand up. And we need to conquer evil because I believe without a shadow of a doubt that good rules evil.
It sure does.
And I know it without a shadow of a doubt because my love that I have, I've never advocated, and you can ask Mallory, I've never advocate hate. I never advocate to dislike police. I never advocated anybody. And then I will remove people from my Facebook page if they even consider to have hate.
That negativity, yep.
Right, and that negativity. So I just want everybody to know. And I thank you guys for having me on.
Thank you for coming, man. Thank you for joining us.
And
sharing
this
your
is
story.
awesome. This is awesome. But you know what? We need to stand up and come together. I don't care if you black, white, Latino, Hispanic, or you Asian or whatever. We need to come together. And we need to start fighting this evil that is trying to plague the world and kill our pets, kill our animals, kill our family members, abuse us, all this profiling and different things like that. We need to stop this.
Yeah, it needs to come to an end. Anyone who's interested in coming out, and supporting Leon, you can go to www.justiceformax.org. That's where all his upcoming events are, his Facebook, his Twitter, his YouTube. Please, everyone, stay active with this because this is reality.
Yes.
Turn off your reality televisions and tune into the real reality.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I had to say.
Well, I just want, once again, I want to thank you guys for coming in. Justice for Max. I know in the past, we've heard your story, but hearing you at a different point, especially advocating this about how there should be some training. There should be some training. I mean, they have training on how to deal with people, how to deal with women.
Yes.
A man cannot frisk a woman.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? There's these guidelines, but there isn't for animals.
Right.
Like, really, you'll go right and bust a window to give air to a dog or a cat inside of a car if somebody calls 911, but you're shooting a dog when
it's
you're
like a vicious.
It's an oxymoron.
Right. And then let's say this. I think I got like 15 seconds. You know what happened at LAX? Okay, I just want to throw this out there. Those officers, man, I thank God for them. Okay, because look at here, it could have been more lives that was taken there.
Yep.
Okay, so we need to start acknowledging the good ones and letting them know that we appreciate them, so that they can start getting these bad ones out of there.
Yeah.
Because they all feel like they glump together. We just glump them all together. So they feel like, oh, well, since they glumping me together, it doesn't matter if I'm bad or good anyway.
And they are there because we allow them to be there.
Right.
Until we stand up and
Right.
say we are change. Like when we made a radical change back in 2008,
That's right.
the whole country, the whole nation that said, you know what? We got to see some change.
That's
one
right.
way or another. And it's leading
We
to
have
so
to.
much change for everybody.
Right.
Maybe it's not at the pace that we all wanted or needed, but we are in a different change. We are in a new evolution. We are in a new time. We are all awakened. We're in this circle.
Right.
11/28, 2010 was the end of the Mayan cycle.
Right.
And 2011 was the end of the Mayan cycle. And it started spawning a new change in evolution in the way we see things and the ways we interact.
Right.
That's why sometimes people are like, I was about to call you.
That's right.
Oh, I was about to do this. Oh, because we are awakening. We're
That's right.
waking up to that consciousness. And some people are afraid of that.
Right.
And they invoke this by hurting creatures. And, for example, the Hawthorne Police Department, before we get off of here, I know they just settled, this was a few years ago, but they settled $1 million suit for an officer that kicked a guy that was on the ground.
Well, that's the same officer that was involved with my situation.
Right.
People don't realize. Let me tell you something.
Wow.
It wasn't him per se that actually shot.
Yeah.
I don't want to put a name on the shooter is,
But
because
the incident that occurred.
But the ones that were there, the three, because it took three of them to murder Max. The ones that handcuffed me and wouldn't let me attend to him, and the shooter. But see, what people don't realize, it got mixed up with the one that you just talked about that settled out of court. But I know, and my attorneys know the shooter. So every 10 million people saw the videotape. They know the shooter.
Everybody does.
So it's you can't hide. I mean, just if he would have came out and apologized and said, "Look, let's get this thing straight. I'm gonna go get some help, whatever, and resolve it in a loving and a peaceful manner." It wouldn't even go this far. But they so arrogant and so. What they did, they covered the wagons. They covered the wagons and started trying to protect a lie.
Of course, and that's unfortunately how it happens. With the blue shield, or what is it? Under the blue shield, whatever it's called, whatever. We got to stop that. We have to put this to the light. If we are held responsible for what we do, so should they.
Right.
Especially when we entrust in them. Seeing like Andy Griffith and all that stuff, they were there to serve and protect. They were there to help the people. They weren't there fearing the police.
Right.
What parallel is that?
Right.
I know.
We actually have the power to change stuff, like
That's right.
Protesting and things like that, walking and publicly demonstrating.
Something you guys have done at the Hawthorne Police Department.
Right.
I was there with you guys.
It's very.
It helps.
It helps, but in all actuality, it doesn't solve anything.
No.
In the most part, if the majority that you actually protest with and bring together like a collective, maybe a public political party, you guys can change actually the law and how it actually interacts in your city or your district.
That's what we're doing.
It
But
can
it
happen.
starts with unity.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
And
If you notice back in the
Waking up.
60s when the civil rights enactment was actually brought into law, in 1965, there was a collective body that came together that made those type of changes.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
In government.
Oh,
Right.
See, but
yeah.
it started with one situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this could be that situation that we can all come together because look, I'm open up for everybody. A rainbow correlation. I want people all walks of life that been through whatever they've been through to come together and let's do this.
And you know, Leon, it's funny you say that because if you go through the past shows, which they're not available to the public, thank God, in a sense. Yeah, but you know, you could say that I might have had some type of hate towards the government, as most people do, majority of the people do. But it's because we're focusing on a giant entity and not focusing on the individuals that are making it bad.
That's right.
Exactly. You know, it's on honing in. It's not the whole system itself.
That's good.
But it's honing in on these key individuals.
That's good.
That are actually messing the stuff up for everybody.
That's good.
Exactly. You know, and it just trickles down. It trickles down. We have to wake up. We are awakening. Protests may not do that much, but you know what? It opens.
It helps. No, I'm not saying it doesn't help.
No, but one of the things that you said, and I'll let you speak on that, Mallory, was and part of this awakening that I went through with the government and stuff. Oh, hating the government. I was telling that to a buddy of mine, and he said, "Dude," he's like, "Why you hate the government so much? Why are you so anti-government?" And he said, "If it wasn't for the government, me and my people would probably still be in shackles right now."
Right.
And they just gave me a whole different spin on it.
Yeah.
Like, wow, wait, hold on.
We have to use it to our advantage.
Like,
We need to.
it's not common sense yet, where people can say, "Oh, okay, everybody's equal."
Whereas
It needs a piece of paper for it to say, "Okay, this is law. You have to," because it says it here. Like really, like
it's not.
We
It's
haven't
not perfect.
evolved there. No, but I'm just saying, in evolution in mankind, like. We
it's
can't,
forever evolving, right?
Yeah, like
go.
not just necessarily loving each other because hey, we're here on this planet sharing everything. It has to be on a piece of paper. So you have to get together.
Words,
like oh man,
Words.
really, like oh, damn.
Words are the most powerful thing on this earth. Like you were saying, words are the most powerful thing on this earth. It takes words for your birth. It takes word for your death. It takes word to buy a car. It takes words to buy a house.
Everything.
You know, death and life is in the power of the tongue. So when the words that you have and the word that you use are so strong and powerful, everything that you see was created by words. So primarily what we have to do, we have to get involved and start making these changes because the system and the government and everything else is forever evolving. But all we have to do is just go to other countries and go to other places and see how their systems are, and it'll make you appreciate where you're at. Yeah. That's why I'm not like bashing the government or bashing the police because I'm gonna tell you just like this. I'd rather be a part of the solution than part of the problem.
Oh yes, oh yes. You're gonna put it any other better way than being part of the solution.
Right.
Being part of the solution, you know. And unfortunately, some of these people invoke us. They're trying to push us. You know, they already know your past scenario. They're like, oh, let's take this guy out right here, right now. Come on, let's invoke him. Let's get him behind bars. Let's push him.
Well, I love him. I love him
You could
anyway.
have taken that any other way. I know, but you could have taken that any other way, try to kick him or try to free out. But that was not your intention. You're not there to harm them.
No, I was trying to help them, and they didn't even know that. Because see, I'm so known on the streets where I go out and ask people questions and talk to people on the streets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm concerned about them. So my whole thing is to bridge the government or the police and bridge them to the community where it'll be a dialogue. So you won't have that type of atmosphere out there. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need a Leon or a Mallory or my brother here.
Dane.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A Dane.
So a Dane. So
A great Dane. A great Dane is what we need.
But what I'm trying to say is that all of us collectively, I've never seen the ear get mad at the eye for doing his job. I never saw the nose get mad at the tongue for doing his job. So what I'm saying is that collectively, everybody can function in a certain part of the body where we can get something done.
Correct.
But if we come together and we start fighting and getting, it'll be a better world. But we have to come together. We have to. I pray that we can come together as a community and as a race of different people.
Yeah, and it's beautiful when you do, because honestly, when I leave a protest, when I'm protesting, whether it's with you or for animal rights, I feel good after, and I feel like I did my purpose for that day. That's our purpose here, is to help.
It sure is. It sure is. And everybody, thank you for tuning in to Parallels, because the truth isn't always as clear. Mr. Leon, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yes,
Mallory,
thank
you for taking us into your corner.
Of course.
Dane, thank you for joining us, brother.
Thank
and
you.
everybody for tuning in. Thank you for listening to Parallels. because the truth isn't always as clear. As we come back next week with ever-changing guests, ever-changing topics.
Yeah.
And stay tuned. I don't know exactly yet what we're going to have. I don't know if we may have to actually skip next week, even though we're coming back. But we'll talk about it off air.
Okay.
But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support. Stay tuned at LA Talk Live. Big shout out to my boy Stevie Neal.
Thank
you. But anyways, stay tuned.
We're still at war, right here at home. The states are more divided. They fortify the borders, place the lid atop the melting pot with cameras on the corner. We've got that Tower of Babylon disorder. These neocons continue pushing buttons, crush the public as they're keeping on. The cries for help are deep and strong in this age. Heard over pouring rainstorms that keep you caught in a haze. It's trickle-down economics. A simple frown can hide so much behind it, cause we're trying not to stress upon it. It's hard to find the Malcolm X and Martins nowadays. They feed you bullshit with extra garnish on the way. To the average dick, the rush of war is better than sex. Fighting for reasons that they'll never confess. Whatever the president says, you'd better dissect it. The war machine is an evident threat that's got my mind restless. You've gotta ask the right questions. Research is quite precious. I write the message, next I grab the mic and bless it. Yes, it's the effervescent essence. I get it off my chest in less time than it took for the towers to get condensed to wreckage. Attention's getting misdirected. The narcissistic ethics, people's only interest is in their crisp reflection. Every 4 years, another villain gets selected. 5 children dead from starvation every 60 seconds. The fattest nation with a fascination for leaving the masses sedated. They still on that master and slave shit. Chains, whips, same shit. It's a different type of bondage. It might look hot, but still it's dangerous. Who wants to live their life working off stiff payments? The nigga went postal cause he lost his patience. Collateral damage for the corporation. The war remains a sad reminder. Checks and
Listen, nothing's as it seems. You struggle, hustle for your dreams. Feel like you busting from the seams. Toxins in the stuff you eat. Seems the world might fall to pieces. The starving, the diseases. The marching of the legion. Start discarding your allegiance. Nothing's as it seems. You struggle, hustle for your dreams. Feel like you busting from the seams. Toxins in the stuff you eat. Seems the world might fall to pieces. The starving, the diseases. The marching of the legion. Start discarding your allegiance.
Check the caliber. High velocity Tesla death ray. Stamping circles in your crops. A stays half a step away from the moment of atonement that'll leave your chest caved. Heed the day the visitors came. You can catch me on the next train, destined for the outer limits. So far from this metropolis, it's a full-blown apocalypse under holographic rocket ships. It's obvious they are not real, so why you throwing rocks at it? Martial law's initialized, you can get your noggin split. They're civilians jogging sprints, they finally found they wouldn't free, and began to question if they ever were, cause the only guns they see are in the hands of fascist teams, capitalist regimes, marching us into camps. All the while we scream, propaganda blast in the streets, public morale's low, our passions are weak. Yo, the dragon's been unleashed, the final phase of the planet's been reached. Set the stage for battle, consummate the peace, or get zip cuffed by the beast. Then stomp your face with cleats, survival of the fit. Hold your faith in your dreams, take heed to what you eat.
Listen, nothing's as it seems. You struggle, hustle for your dreams. Feel like you're busting from the seams. Toxins in the stuff you eat. Seems the world might fall to pieces. The starving, the diseases. The marching of the legion. Start discarding your allegiance. Nothing's as it seems. You struggle, hustle for your dreams. Feel like you're busting from the seams. Toxins in the stuff you eat. Seems the world might fall to pieces. The starving, the diseases. The marching of the legion. Start discarding your allegiance.
Let me help you understand the enemy. A trade commission called the Codex Alimentarius.
Caution, caution, don't get lost in the nonsense. Turn off the evening news and heed the jewels of the Akashic. Onslaught on your senses, leave you feeling lost and defenseless. Ponder and picture this, knowledge is limitless. Codex Alimentarius harming the citizens with trade mandated toxins they're giving us. Map testing and vaccines for our children living illiterate. Don't bother with Congress or the Senate, it's an exercise in futility. Who's killing me? Are you killing me? Do really be. Look me in the face when you try to take my life. I'll take this knife and take the fight to a stage inside sight of the nation's eyes are placed tonight on a panoramic holographic projector in the clouds. Like blue beam you see in the shroud lifted. But as long as the door waiting in, eyes closed, I doubt you'll get it. Shoving mad cow in your mouth without your senses is senseless. Corporate reinforced consumption. Another genetically modified fast food luncheon. Animal 46 torn to bits in your nuggets. Chicken, this stuff is sickening. Sifting through the chemicals. Chemtrail, crop dust, and organic farms. Vicious sentinels. Listen. Nothing's as it seems, you struggle, hustle for your dreams. Feel like you busting from the seams. Toxins in the stuff you eat. Seems the world might fall to pieces. The starving, the diseases, the marching of the legions. Start discarding your allegiance. Nothing's as it seems, you struggle, hustle for your dreams. Feel like you busting from the seams. Toxins in the stuff you eat. Seems the world might fall to pieces. The starving, the diseases, the marching of the legions. Start discarding your allegiance.
The curtain's torn, it's been blown at the seams. And there's no sign of the smoke of the screen, only insecticides. Polypropylenes, our fruits and vegetables are no longer grown from a seed. The cows are on steroids, hormones in their feed. America's cash crop, there's corn in everything. From the moment we're born we believe that what we chew with our teeth is healthy. Check the Codex Alimentarius, depleted nutrients and some scary shit. Population reduction, the less of us the merrier. 500 million, the rest are just a barrier. Beat the plastic coffin containers, manufactured to bury ya. Realer than scurvy, black plague, and malaria.
Beware of the diabolical, the populace dropping is volatile. According to Brzezinski and the World Health Conglomerate, optional loss of life is decided behind closed doors. Where the people slaughtered like sheep by this evil have no voice.
No, never that. Not me, I hoist megaphones to my mouth, ejecting warnings to the crowds. Get the fuck out of your house. It's time to wake up, detach your eyes from the tube. Exercise your awareness, you are alive, I am too.
Listen, nothing's as it seems. You struggle, hustle for your dreams. Feel like you're busting from the seams. Toxins in the stuff you eat. Seems the world might fall to pieces. The starving, the diseases, the marching of the legions. Start discarding your allegiance. Nothing's as it seems. You struggle, hustle for your dreams. Feel like you're busting from the seams. Toxins in the stuff you eat. Seems the world might fall to pieces. The starving, the diseases, the marching of the legions. Start discarding your allegiance.
It is not a public health commission. It is not a consumer protection commission.